So, did you see American Idol last night? We posted a story at about 4 in the afternoon yesterday, before American Idol aired. And we told you guys on the website that probably the favorite, we said the favorite of the judges for sure, was going to be booted off the show. And we also said that producers were feverishly lobbying the judges to exercise the save, to save this person. Well, sure enough, fast forward a couple hours later, Jessica Sanchez was voted off by the American public.
Yes.
And then, as quickly as she was voted off, watch what happened. This is as she was singing for her supper for the judges to change it.
I've spent all my life on a search to find the love will stay for eternity, the heaven sent to fulfill my needs. But then I turned around. Give me that mic! This is crazy! Yes, we're using the same! You ain't going home! Go sit down! Go sit down! Go sit down!
So what's the deal here? How did this happen? I mean, we know that that the producers knew for sure. They walked up to the judges. They're lobbying the judges. And then very quickly, Jessica gets saved. So to find out what the deal is, Nigel Lithgow, the brainchild behind American Idol, the executive producer, is on the phone right now, and I have a bunch of questions for Nigel. So, Nigel, welcome to TMZ Live.
Thank you. Can I put you straight on one thing, though? America did not vote for Jessica Sanchez to leave the show. They just didn't give her enough votes to stay on the show.
Okay, that's a fair point.
Right.
That's a fair point. So they voted her off the show.
Right.
And the first thing is, look, Nigel, I think you got to concede we've got pretty good sources at American Idol, much to your chagrin.
It's quite annoying, Harvey, yes.
Okay, so we put the story up that the producers were lobbying the judges to save this person.
Well, I don't know about lobbying. What happens is when the judges come in, they say, who's going, who's going? We sometimes lie to them, to be frank. We tease them. I think what was said to them this week, for sure, was, you're probably going to need your save. I mean, they've only got the save for another 2 weeks anyway, so they knew they had to use it at some point. But that's probably what was said to them. You're going to need your save this week. Don't forget, they read TMZ too, so they knew that there was a shock coming.
And we said it was, I mean, look, Nigel, based on what I know, that everybody connected the dots before the show, and they knew that it was her, because even she wasn't surprised when they announced it. You could see there was no shock, there was nothing.
They asked her point blank, are you surprised?
And she said no.
No, not really.
It sounds like they all kind of knew what was going on.
Nobody knows. I truly mean that, and there's no reason for me to lie. We keep it as much of a surprise as anything. We want the shock on their faces when they're told. Don't be silly. Why would we tell them beforehand? The same with the judges. We've got a camera on the judges all the time so we can grab that shock. There's no reason for anybody to act on the program. That was a huge shock, so we're not going to tell them. The biggest shock for me, even more so, because, you know, Jessica does choose strange songs sometimes to sing. The biggest shock for me was Joshua in the bottom three, because he was the only one that got a standing ovation the night before. So he was a huge shock. The judges didn't know if Joshua was going home or Jessica. And certainly Elise had the pimp spot of the night, the last spot, where, you know, she was great too. So it's just ironic for me that Jennifer Hudson was on the show, that she was in exactly the same position when she was there in season 3. And, you know, the 7, and she was in the bottom 3. Do you remember? And she went home. It was before we had a save.
Yep.
And there she was last night on the show. And she was on the same show last year when Casey got saved. So the irony of the evening, I think, has been forgotten by everybody. But a very strange evening.
Very strange evening. 2 more things, Nigel. One, I want to just go back to something. I am told And again, based on the
From your sources.
Well, but I think I've got good sources over there, Nigel, and I was told that this was more than just saying, hey, you might be exercising your save, that it was way more aggressive than that, that there were people, well, you guys all knew.
Harvey, trust me, you are never aggressive with Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer has got her own mind. You cannot tell Jennifer, you will do this or you will do that. You're not booking somebody to tell them what to do. These are subjective, issues. You want the judges to be as honest and as credible as they can be. And sometimes things like this work out that it just looks like it's all rigged. And it cannot be rigged because AT&T, the phone company, give the results to Telescope, an independent company, who then inform us.
Okay, fair enough.
Besides, this sort of thing generates publicity. So at the end of the day, I'm quite happy that everyone's up in arms about it as a producer of the show. But I assure you that there was absolutely nothing faked or rigged last night.
Nigel, one more thing. What about when the judges got up on stage and Randy actually said,
please, everybody, please vote for the best. It's about finding the best.
Do you have a problem with a judge saying that Jessica is the best? And how do the other contestants feel about that?
Yeah, they're standing there.
The other contestants are like, hey, what about us?
The judges are paid to give their opinion. Everyone else has got an opinion, and they're not paid. But we listen to every opinion. That's the fun of this show. If Randy wants to say she's the best, that's Randy's opinion. It isn't my opinion. It may not be your opinion. But at that point, I think he was in such a shock, as we all were, that she was the one going home. At the same time, I say to you, the girl has got to show us some personality, and she's got to choose some songs that America connects with if she wants to stay on the show. That goes for all of them. That's not just Jessica.
Okay, can I just give you my...
It's America's favorite singer at the end of the day. It's not America's best singer. They all must remember that.
Can I give you one scenario, and then I'm going to thank you for joining us?
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's my scenario. I think Randy screwed Jessica over on this thing, and let me tell you why I say that. I think when Randy said, she's the best woman, she's the best performer, when you looked at all the other women and other contestants who were standing off to the side in a group, a lot of them looked really bummed out that they felt that they were being dissed. I mean, you see one of them, she wasn't clapping. You could just tell they were upset by it. So I think what's going to happen is that a lot of people are going to gang up and not vote for Jessica. I think
listen, you may well be right. And I would suggest to you, possibly, that when the judges said to Holly the previous night, this isn't good enough, America, as it has done so many times in the past, got behind Holly and voted for Holly and said, screw you, judges, we're going to support this girl. The same way as when Simon Cowell once said to a kid, pack your suitcase, you're going home tomorrow. America said, oh, no, they're not.
I love controversy. Nigel, you know what? I know you're like on your other show. You're doing.
So you think you can?
So you think you can dance right now?
At the moment, yeah.
You are unbelievable. I mean, between all the people on your show, nobody can do anything on television. Nobody can produce a show. You guys do everything.
We have got a fantastic team, and the only thing that keeps me going is the incredible team that we've got behind American Idol and the team behind So You Think You Can Dance. I'm just a figurehead.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sure, Nigel. Hey, listen, thank you so much, Nigel. Well, next week will be very interesting.
I can't wait to read what's happening with my show on TMZ.
Thanks, Nigel.
Thanks,
Thank you very much. Cheers.